Hello friends, today we're going on an incredible adventure. Imagine we're going to explore the most fascinating archaeological discoveries related to Moses and the Exodus. Get ready to discover if the stories of Moses and the Exodus are just legends or if they hide an even more surprising truth. Don't miss out. Friends, get ready for the first stop on our adventure. Let me introduce you to the Merneptah Stele, a huge stone slab dating back to the year 1208 BC, older than anyone would think. What makes this stone so special is an inscription, a triumphal message from Pharaoh Merneptah, where he boasts of having finished off his enemies, and here comes the good part. Among those enemies, Israel is mentioned. This mention of Israel gives us a very important clue about the chronology of the Exodus, placing it in a more or less defined historical period. Of course, the stele doesn't mention the Exodus directly, but the mere existence of Israel at that time, and in the place described in the Bible. It's a clue that makes us think. Could it be that the story of the Exodus is not so far-fetched after all? The Merneptah Stele is just the tip of the iceberg, my friends, so join us on this fascinating journey. Let's go now in search of a lost city. No, I'm not talking about Atlantis, but Pyramesses. This city, mentioned in the Bible as the Pharaoh's capital during the Exodus, was like the New York of its time. Huge, powerful, and full of life. But for centuries, no one knew exactly where it was. Imagine the excitement of archaeologists when, finally, they found the remains of Pyramesses buried under the sand. And not only that, they discovered that the city was even bigger than they imagined. Streets, houses, temples, even a royal palace. Everything frozen in time, waiting for us to tell its story. And speaking of stories, do you know what's most interesting? That the architecture and objects found in Pyramesses perfectly match the biblical descriptions of the time. And this is just the beginning, my friends. There is much more to discover. Friends, get ready for a trip to the past through the postal mail. No, I'm not kidding. Let me introduce you to the Amarna letters, a set of clay tablets with diplomatic messages between Egypt and its neighbors, written over 3,000 years ago. They're like emails from ancient times. And do you know what's most interesting about these letters? They mention a mysterious group called the Habiru. These Habiru were nomads, warriors, and, according to some scholars, could be related to the Hebrews of the Exodus. The descriptions of the Habiru in the Amarna letters, their lifestyle, and their conflictive relationship with Egypt coincide with what we know about the Hebrews from the Bible. The Amarna letters show us that the story of the Exodus did not occur in a vacuum, but in a complex historical context with characters and events that we can trace through archaeology. Hold on tight, friends, because this story is on fire, literally. Let me introduce you to the Tempest Stele, an Egyptian monument that describes a series of calamities that struck Egypt during the reign of Pharaoh Ahmose I. Torrential rains, darkness, plagues. The curious thing is that some scholars have linked these calamities to the famous biblical plagues that struck Egypt during the Exodus. Could it be that the Tempest Stele is a distant echo of the events of the Exodus? The answer, my friends, is still up in the air. Get ready for a dose of Egyptian drama, friends. Let me introduce you to the Ipuwer Papyrus, an Egyptian literary text that describes a time of chaos and destruction in Egypt. Famine, diseases, social unrest. The interesting thing is that this papyrus, written centuries before the Exodus according to traditional chronology, contains some amazing similarities to the biblical plagues. It speaks of a Nile river turned to blood, of darkness covering the land, of the death of the firstborn. The Ipuwer Papyrus reminds us that history is full of mysteries and that sometimes reality can be stranger than fiction. Let's travel now to southern Egypt, friends, in search of more clues. In the Temple of Soleb, built by Pharaoh Amenhotep III, we find an inscription that has caught the attention of Bible scholars. This inscription mentions a group called the Shasu of Yahweh. The Shasu were nomadic shepherds who lived in the lands east of Egypt, and Yahweh, as you know, is the name of God in the Bible. The mention of Yahweh in such an ancient Egyptian context is truly surprising. It confirms that the name of God, Yahweh, already resonated in the ancient Near East long before some thought. Let's go to Jerusalem now, friends, to a sacred place full of history. The Western Wall, also known as the Wailing Wall, is one of the holiest places in Judaism. This wall, which is actually part of the retaining walls of the Temple Mount, is what remains of the Second Temple in Jerusalem, destroyed by the Romans in 70 AD. But its history goes back to much earlier times, to the time of King Solomon. Although no conclusive archaeological evidence of the First Temple has been found, the existence of the Western Wall and other findings in the area confirm that the Temple Mount has been a sacred place for Jews since ancient times. A place where faith and history intertwine, and where we can feel the presence of the past with unusual force. Friends, get ready for an immersion in the daily life of ancient Egypt. We enter the tomb of Rekhmir, a high-ranking Egyptian official who lived during the 15th century BC. The walls of this tomb are decorated with incredible paintings showing scenes from daily life in Egypt, including agricultural work, crafts, and also slaves. And here comes the interesting part. Among the slaves depicted, you can see some with Semitic features, very similar to those described in the Bible for the Hebrews. The tomb of Rekhmir offers us a window into Egyptian society at the time of the Exodus, showing us how they lived, worked, and organized themselves. Friends, we have reached one of the most emblematic places in the Bible, Mount Sinai. According to tradition, it was here that Moses received the 10 Commandments from God. The exact location of Mount Sinai has been debated for centuries. Some place it on the Sinai Peninsula in Egypt, while others place it in Saudi Arabia or even Jordan. Despite the different theories, Mount Sinai remains a sacred place for Jews, Christians, and Muslims. Although archaeology has not been able to confirm the exact location of the biblical Mount Sinai, the search continues. And to end our adventure, friends, we are going to follow the route of the Exodus, the path that the Israelites followed when they left Egypt for the Promised Land. The exact route of the Exodus is still a matter of debate among scholars. The Bible offers some clues, mentioning places like the Red Sea, the Sinai Desert, and Mount Sinai. But the lack of precision in the descriptions and the possibility that some places have changed their name or location over the centuries make it difficult to draw a definitive route. Despite the difficulties, different routes have been proposed over the years, some shorter, others longer, some bordering the coast, others going deep into the desert. What is certain is that the Exodus was an epic journey, full of dangers, challenges, and also miracles. And so ends our adventure through biblical archaeology, friends. I hope you enjoyed this journey through biblical history and archaeology. We have seen that archaeology can be a fascinating tool to better understand the stories of the Bible, and that it can even offer us tangible evidence of events that we thought were just legends. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. See you next time.